The Cowboys finally did it, man. They finally did it. They hired their offensive line coach, and I am super, super excited, man. But is he for the job? The Cowboys have hired Conor Riley as their new offensive line coach. Mike Solari, get out of here, man. Man, if you've been here, I have been breaking down the film of the Dallas Cowboys for the 2024 season, game by game. And I think I got a pretty expert analysis. So I'm going to break down why Conor Riley, is he right for the job? Because I'm super excited, super excited. Make sure to like and subscribe the video. Comment below, what did you like? We're going to get right into the video. But first, we're going to break down who is Conor Riley, man. He is one of the top offensive line coaches in the college football sphere. Very well regarded, very well respected. This man's background is impeccable. Let me read it off for you guys. He spent the last 6 years at Kansas State and served as an offensive line coach. Recently, this past year, he got promoted to offensive coordinator. Keep that in mind. But before that, he was a part of the dominant FCS program, North Dakota State, where he won 5 FCS national championships, man. That screams grit and physicality. Those programs right there. I never knew the man's name, but I always know his work. It always says something if your work, speaks for the name. You know what I'm saying? So North Dakota State, if you don't know it, run the football is their mantra. Kansas State, if you don't know it, run the football is their mantra. Those guys produce some of the most grittiest, most toughest players in the National Football League, and they're guys who are going to go out there and compete regardless of the talent they got ahead of them. You should know North Dakota State, one of those. Literally, they've been pleading for North Dakota State to leave the FCS program to go into the BCS and compete for, with the Power 5, because they've been well deserved of it. Very competitive program. And then Kansas State, I know I'm a Texas Longhorn fan. I know Kansas State, they're always gritty. Got those blue nose, blue chip, hard working, bring your lunch pail, bring your hard hat. Those type of recruits he got over there, and they will maximize the talent because they lean in onto what makes football. Also, I actually found out, it's probably, you're not going to know this, but Conor Riley was born in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, I don't want to go into the year he was born, but I know my college football history, man. Nebraska had one of the greatest football programs in history of the college football, man. They haven't been good in so long, but they scream and they bleed red up there in Nebraska. So that's another key point to point out. But let me go into particular in his time at Kansas State, because that's where, most of his work on film we're going to be breaking down. But at 2023, key year, this is when Beebe came out. That offensive line was a semifinalist status for the Joe Moore Award. If you don't know about that award is given to of all the programs in the entire college football sphere, that is given to the top offensive line unit in the country. And it's a lot of schools in this country. So that is a high regard, high reward. And you might be thinking, how did they get, what was happening during that year, man? This offensive line was going crazy, man. Kansas State line, they ranked top 30 nationally in 11 offensive categories, including 10th in points per game, 11th in rushing yards per game. Y'all, this is the entire country. This is not out of 32. This is out of 294. 11th in third down conversions, 47.9. 12th in rushing touchdowns, 12th in first downs, and they also ranked 30th nationally in red zone offense, converting 89.23%. Now, you may be sitting here and be like, man, that's the entire offense, Lou. No, man, I'm telling you, these translate. This is a run-first team, so you can only imagine that means in the third and short situations, they're putting their hand in the dirt. They're converting that at 47% of the time. At red zone offense, you don't have a good red zone offense unless you have a good run game. Period. You're not getting to the end zone, and that's if you're seeing versus the Cowboys, why we struggling in the red zone is because we don't have a good to adequate type rushing offense. Okay, they also ranked second in the country in scoring touchdowns. So on 78% of their red zone attempts. So whenever they get in there, it's pretty much automatic. That tells me they're gritty. They're moving guys up front. They're playing with great leverage, getting movement. Those stats. Even though I'm not a stat guy, I'm telling you, those stats speak to me. Speak to me, and especially when I turn on this film. Now, next, you might be thinking, man, who are these guys? This Conor Riley is, development. Who is that? I'm going to just stay with the 2023 season. We all know our all-pro center, guard from Kansas State, Cooper Beebe. That man was, out of all of his, 4 years, he was all Big 12, first team, All-American. Pretty much all those time there, he's a crown jewel. If you want to see Conor Riley crown jewel, look at Cooper Beebe for the Dallas Cowboys. Other key guys that's been a part of that: Hayden Gillum, who was also received honors for all Big 12. KT Levinston, you probably remember that name. He got drafted in the same year as Beebe to the Rams as a tackle. He's a tackle on film next to Beebe, and then Carver Willis. That's four guys with all Big 12 honors, and you're wondering why they were considered for that Joe Thorpe Award. That's for the best offensive lineman. He just had a developed unit at almost all 5 positions. So, come on, for real. So you might be thinking, man, he's developing all these players, all these guys, even our future of our offensive line. How does this hire help the Dallas Cowboys offensive line? Fine, let's start with his teachings. His techniques, his philosophy, and his teachings all marry with Clayton Adams almost seemingly perfectly, in my opinion. Clayton run averages at Arizona shows he wants to do a multiple run scheme, which means he's running counter, he's running zone, he's running GT counter, he's running pin and pulls, he's running read zones. The guy does not, the percentages you're seeing are all evenly. He does not want to give away a tendency, wants to show and give the defense multiple looks, in my opinion. And how that's married with Conor Riley, I'm going to get to that, because Riley's philosophy, I can tell, is the exact same, because he teaches multiple techniques from his offensive line group. What I mean by that, so usually when an offensive lineman run, their offensive line group, they usually run 1 to 2 techniques. So when they pull, it's either turn and pull, it's either a skip pull. I see Conor Riley's in his group, they're doing almost every technique known to man. I'm seeing skip pulls, I'm seeing turn pulls, I'm seeing hip to hip block downs, I'm seeing zone principles, I'm seeing pin and pulls, I'm seeing elephants on parade. I'm seeing almost every technique done on film. And that shows me that he has a very cerebral group, right? And he's doing a great job in practice in those indie drills. The amount of drills that he has to teach in order to get his technique through, because he's teaching almost every type of technique. I remember I was playing with the SWAC. They taught us, we only did turn and pulls where when we turn and we did a kick out block, taking our outside shoulder for the inside defender. When I went to Sam Houston, it was only the skip pulls, which means we're skipping, trying to get leverage, staying square to the line of scrimmage, and we're moving up. But he's teaching me all these things all at once. So that's why I know it's going to marry in with Clayton's philosophy. It's probably went right up his alley. If he's running multiple schemes, multiple run plays, the techniques are never the same. Come on now. You tell me, multiple techniques, multiple runs. But we're gonna go over quickly, this video of him briefly going over one of those techniques.
And I know I'm going over, I won't go over too much, is just our adjustments versus zero nose. Okay, so how are we handling that zero nose? We're seeing a lot more and more of that 3-man front, true zero nose, not as much slant angle within the Big 12. Our defense is kind of run it. Iowa State does a phenomenal job. Coach Rule did it in 2019, but now Okie State's doing. TCU, who had a phenomenal year, they're running a lot of this, okay? So our base is just to scoop it. Center, backside guard, going to scoop that zero nose to the signed linebacker -1 or ID, okay? very good versus slant angle teams. Okay, our potential issues are getting out leveraged by backside linebacker getting over the top. Okay, we can get a little bit of a tug from those defenders up front. Okay, all right, we need to play with better separation, do that. Then also we can get that center. We got a down block from that tight end. Okay, if we get any type of movement, we can get that center. He can get picked off. All right, he can get picked off by that play side tackle on that 4-eye.
Now, I noticed his emphasis to the basics in his very complicated scheme. Now, I know, to the naked, listener, or the naked ear listener, in my opinion, to the guys who don't know the ins and outs of offensive line techniques, I understand you want to be able to, understand it word for word, but notice how he's emphasizing the nose, right? And he's starting in this lecture to his guys and emphasizing who? The center. And who has the center be for the Dallas Cowboys? Cooper Beebe. So I always talked about this when people were saying, on the other side of the ball, I'm knowing flipping sides, how the Dallas Cowboys struggle to defend the run. Everyone was saying, oh, cornerbacks, oh, linebackers, we need to be better. I was saying, no, it starts up front, because there's a reason why he's emphasizing this himself. If we can take care of the down center lineman, or not center line, the nose tackle, our block has a higher success rate. Our blocking percentages have a higher success rate. So taking care of that guy, is crucial, especially in his scheme. The gap scheme, the zone scheme, none of it works if the zero is getting initial, penetration. None of it works. So we're emphasizing this pass through, and the center probably got the hardest job in order, passing this swoop block anyways. But yeah, man, I just noticed that he's been very well spoken, very detailed, very complicated scheme. So let's briefly take a look at my breakdown on if these teachings translated to the game. Just a few clips. So let's immediately start what the teachings he was teaching. Apologize for the quality, it's going to clear up. But here we go right here. So what we got here, they're doing this outside zone. They're getting here. They're stepping here. We have an initial nose here. He just talked about this swoop technique. That's very hard for this, for this offensive line to do, because if you go back, let me show the initial alignment. Look where this nose is right here. He is like, man, he's like almost in a 2. And this guy, I believe, this is a large reach block for this offensive lineman in order for it. But we have to maintain our principles. But if we maintain what he's just preached into the video, they should be able to complete this. But let's see if they do that. And look at that. They already are moving, staying square. Look at it. They're passing off. Now they formed this wall and look for the running back. Beautiful. Let's take a look at a completely different play though. Man, let's take a look at this pin and pull action, man. This is that Jim Thorpe finalist award. I think I got that award wrong, but this is that award winning or award finalist offensive line from 2023 with Cooper Beebe here at the left guard. And we have the tackle that ended up getting drafted by the Rams. But these guys here, what a special group. And this is versus a very good 2023 Texas defensive line. But let's take a look. They're going to do some pull action here, where they're going to pull. They're going to get a block here. They're going to get a block here, pull this guy around, and just watch the beautiful technique of these guys here. Beautiful. Actually, they pulled the other guard, but I just wanted to point out, like, look at their principles here. Look at their principles here. Beebe is pulling, this is the other way. He's blocking here, and Beebe is pulling around, but Beebe is not just going up to the heel. No, it still like zone principles here. So if this guy flies out of here, this guy moves up to 0, and Beebe just floats until a guy shows, and he attacks 45 here, which is beautiful tape right here. Here we go. Look at that. And then we're running. What a pickup there. Now here's a quick review of the recent offensive line with DJ Giddens, Cooper Beebe, now going to the NFL. Here we go, new group. Let's see if the teachings got passed down. It shows how great a coach typically is. Here we go. We got an insert here. These guys are blocking down, blocking down, blocking down, blocking down, and the tight end is inserting here. We're gonna need to draft more tight ends, Cowboys fans. We talked about all these other positions, but we need about 4 or 5 tight ends on this roster in order to replicate Clayton Adams, Brian Schottenheimer's run scheme. I can only imagine they run this power scheme. But here we go. Here, check this out. Here we go. Guys blocking down, great initial. I love 54 staying free. He's going to pick up that -1 linebacker that they talked about. Because I think this is the right side of the play side, so I only imagine this is -1. And look at the tight end here, 80, beautiful, picks up on MDM, and look at 83 inserting, and look at that run lane that we got for DJ Giddens there, and DJ Giddens, special running back right there. We all know about is coming out right in this draft class. And this is the last player we're going to go over in this brief breakdown. I just wanted to point out here, we're going to get some trap action here, but I just want to point out, just pay attention to the entire play, but pay attention to this guy. This guy right here has to block this guy right here, and the play is going, it's like a cutback, right? Gap scheme run. So the running back's movement here is going to temporarily hold his linebacker, but he has to literally take this impossible path and get play side to block this guy. I just wanted to point this out because, I mean, I can only imagine Clayton Adams and Conor Riley is going to ask for something insane for this. Is Terrence Steele is going to be here, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be right up Terrence Steele alley. He wants to be on the move and everything like that. So I can see it here. So just pay attention here. Here we go. Here we go. Go. Look at this path. Look at this path. And look at 75. We're moving up. We had a guy free, but they're trapping down here. But look at 77. Gets to the guy. Gets play size. 75 is on the safety. Look at this beautiful run scheme right here. Beautiful run scheme right here, man. I can't wait. Can't wait, man. So how will this help the offensive line? Well, sack prevention. The Cowboys struggled with pass protection, as you know, this past year. But Riley, under his time at Kansas State, they allowed fewer than 2.0 sacks per game. And that suggests, he's going to shore up that weakness. His complicated detailed breakdown that I showed you via the Twitter on run blocking schemes, that will translate, to the passing protection. Look, how would I do that? Because if you're be able to ID the Mike, which is not the middle linebacker, it's just the midline, being able to ID, -1, +1, which is talking about the linebacker, either to the weak side or the strong side. If you're able to do that via the run game, when you're moving and there's moving pieces on the opposite side from you, when it's time to go into pass pro and assessing the initial blitzes or different looks, IDing is going to translate. The IDing portion is going to translate, and that's mostly what I think you can say we struggled with last year. Dak Prescott, there's an article saying, or there's clips of him saying that he took away the call out portion of the offense away from Cooper Beebe in order for him to play more freely. Now we get offensive line coaches to come in, give those keys back to Cooper Beebe, and now let's get everyone on the offensive line understanding what's need to be called out, what needs to be ID'd. If we can see it, we can block it. The Dallas Cowboys want to establish a dominant run game. Brian Schottenheimer, Clayton Adams, if that under the screen, we want to run the ball. Only thing's missing is personnel in the backfield, but as far as up front, they're getting a guy who, Conor Riley at K-State, averaged over 200 yards per game in back-to-back seasons. His zone blocking skills is an emphasis on the physicality, and it can unlock any running back that is going to be back there. I'm telling you, one thing I can count on that these guys who we're hiring, our offensive line is going to be tougher. They're gonna be grittier. We're gonna see more emphasis. We're gonna be seeing more nastiness. And that's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask for. The bare minimum. Let's get the most of what we have now. And if we can fix the run game, that is going to unlock our short area deficiencies when it becomes to the fourth and short, third and short, goal line. That man, that I'm telling you, that stat from when they were in 2023 at the top 30 in the league when it came to red zone efficiency, that tells me they play with great leverage. Man, they have great fire off, great push, great grittiness, man. And I'm oozing like, man, hey, it's gonna be great, man. I'm telling you. But the development of his talent at Kansas State, especially the 2023 season, having 4 to 5 guys being considered as a finalist for that top offensive lineman program in the country, that's gonna be great for guys like Tyler Guyton, Terrence Steele, and even Tyler Smith. These guys right here, we need to bring back the toughness, bring back the leverage play, and let's get these guys' development going in the right direction. And most of all, this is going to be great. This is going to be great for Cooper Beebe, man, who's already a smart player, but already talked about how he needs to grow and seeing the field more because Dak took away some of his, capabilities to make him play freely. Now he gets the guy who's sole responsible for his football mind and his football mind development. And lastly, Deuce Vaughn. I know this is offensive line video, but we're getting guys who are capable of almost generating any type of run scheme, any run play. And we're getting his former coach from Kansas State that was responsible for his breakout season because the big guys in front were blocking. I feel like now Deuce Vaughn is going to have a package finally created for him, okay? And he can finally be their RB4 and their auxiliary guy. But, man, this is great. Make sure to like and subscribe the video if you made it this far. Turn on notification bells. Comment down below. Are you excited? What are you excited for? Did I miss anything? I appreciate all of you. Make sure to follow me, LOU Takes, at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc., man. Until next time, peace.